Don Lemon has come on and revealed that his excursion into the St. Paul City Church was a little more than a publicity stunt, with Don Lemon seemingly to be part of the protest and not actually being a journalist. When he's using words like "we" in this clip here, it makes you think that he's part of the protest and not just covering it.
To account, and so that's what we're doing here, and then after we do this operation, you'll see it live.
Now, maybe that is down to more semantics. He used we instead of they. Okay, fine, maybe that's the case. It's just that when he's going in and interviewing the pastor himself, it doesn't really seem like he is being all that respectful of someone's rights who they are violating right now. Because make no mistake, this is a right that they are violating. The freedom to assemble to practice a religion in peace is the First Amendment guaranteed right that he's trampling. Now, someone who's using the First Amendment as freedom of speech to report the news, to be a journalist, he seems to be pretty okay on trampling someone else's rights that he doesn't really much care for. I mean, as a gay black man, I guess that's fine for him, who doesn't really care about Christians. I mean, the news, especially on his side of the news, hasn't really cared for Christians at all for the last 30, 40 years as far as we can tell. So I'm not necessarily surprised with his responses here, that the way he's treating this pastor here that we're about to see.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So,
but there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus, because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world, is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship.
Yeah.
We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Now, with that, you have a lot of people coming out of the woodwork who are wanting to support Don Lemon, who's saying that, hey, you know what? I'm not sure if I would do that, but I support him on being a reporter, and I don't think he should suffer legal punishment for what he has done. Now, I personally disagree. As a Christian, especially a Catholic, I personally think that if you're going to invade someone else's place of worship, you should be held to the standard of the law. Even if it's a mosque, even if it's a temple, even if you're going into a Hindu or Jewish temple, you should still be held responsible for it. You don't have the right to trespass on other people's First Amendment rights. You can protest outside. You can go ahead and disagree with them on forums. You can go into public areas and say, hey, I don't agree with this practicing religion here. Fine, go ahead and do that. But when you go ahead and invade someone else's place of worship, that is crossing a line. We've seen several people invade a place of worship and shoot them up, and now we see them invade a place of worship just to disrupt the service. I guess I'll take this than someone going in there shooting them up, but still, it's still a violation and it's wrong. Now, you have a lot of people saying that Don Lemon being charged for depriving people of their rights and First Amendment rights is not something that he should be charged with. I personally disagree. From these clips here, it's not evident really that he's not necessarily part of the protest. You can claim to be a journalist, but that does not excuse you from being charged with crimes. As Tim Pool will say that, yes, although you can go out there and be a journalist, you will be charged for disrupting peace, for being disorderly, for being a nuisance. So you can be charged with these things as a journalist. Now, those not severe as what Don Lemon is being charged with, but just because you say you're a journalist does not mean you're not going to be charged with crimes. Now, what exactly was Don Lemon trying to do here? I honestly think that he was just trying to get publicity to himself. He was part of a failing channel on CNN. He has since moved to independent journalism that has pretty much failed. He had a fallout with Elon Musk where he was going to be a journalist on there, and now he hasn't had really much relevancy until he pulled this stunt. And I call it a stunt because, according to Don Lemon, he reached out to the federal government that he would turn himself in, and the federal government didn't take him up on it, and they just want to humiliate him by putting him in handcuffs and dragging him off to jail. What he really wanted to do here is he wanted to go ahead and have cameras following him as he walked down to the police house to turn himself in, and he could have this long speech of how the press is being threatened by the government, how they're now requiring him to turn himself in to be charged wrongfully. Just give this whole melodrama, which I personally think they did the right thing and not accepting it, that they went ahead, captured him, charged him, and have him now being under investigation and being prosecuted. Now, is anything actually going to happen to him? Hard to say. He has been a journalist for 30 years, so his past will play into it. Also, it seems like when it comes to the left wing of things, you can get by with anything. But if you're a right winger or someone who's just praying in front of Planned Parenthood, you can get charged and thrown into 11 years into jail. So we'll see what happens here exactly with Don Lemon. I'm not necessarily all that confident that anything will happen. I feel like he's going to get like a slap on the wrist, have to do some community hours, and then go back on his merry way. But maybe I'm wrong. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. How do you see this playing out for Don Lemon? Is this going to be a massive milestone for someone on the left finally getting their comeuppance and invading a place of worship? Or is this going to be treated as it has been before, kind of just a slap on the wrist, and the media can continue to do what they want and continue to bash on Christians? I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are down below. Leave a like if you liked the video, leave a dislike if you did not, and don't forget to subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Y'all take care now. Bye.